Hello, empowered woman. Welcome to this episode of the Empowered Woman podcast. Today, I want to share some reflections from an entrepreneurial event I went to over the weekend and also ask you, what is marketing anyway? Is it just using the right words to make people want to buy from you? Keep listening to learn my take on this and come to my first ever content clinic later this week. I'll be hosting a 2-day hot seat coaching event where I'm going to help you feel less overwhelmed and stop procrastinating on your content creation and marketing. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on personal growth, visibility, and profit for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to start believing in yourself, giving yourself permission to succeed, and let your voice be heard to make an impact in the world as an entrepreneur, this is the place for you. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marta Spurk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode. What an amazing weekend I had. I had the opportunity of going in person for the second time to an event that my business coach puts together, I believe 3 times a year. Now he's decided to dial it back to 1 time a year. So the next one is only going to be next year in 2022. But I had the opportunity to be called on stage to share a little bit about my business and what working with him is like. So if you don't remember, I've been working with Gary Barnes. He's a business coach. He is very known here in Colorado and has built a huge community, a career of over 30 years as a speaker, international speaker. He's been on PBS, on TEDx, all kinds of things. And I've had him here on the show. You can go back and look for him, Gary Barnes. It was, I believe, around August of last year that I interviewed him. And in January, he had one of his conferences. It's called Business Breakthrough and Business Mastery Boot Camp. And he called me on stage. It was a crazy time because it was right then and there that my husband had broken his collarbone, had surgery, and the day after he had surgery, the event, that's when the event was. So I actually only went for 1 day, but he had the virtual option, and so I had followed the virtual option as well. And this time around, it was the 40th edition of the event, and I was able to go and be in person for more than just 1 day. Thankfully, especially with the kids being in daycare, it was a lot easier to coordinate. It's just very interesting how things fall into place and things work out. We tend to be impatient and think that this is the last time that FOMO, right? I've been realizing more and more than one of my biggest fears, besides the common fear of success, fear of failure, fear of rejection, has been fear of missing out. It's like there's always some other opportunity and something else that you could be doing better, and you're just never satisfied with what you have. But what I've been understanding in my journey is that everything compounds. Nothing is ever wasted. And to think that when I met my coach, and it was so interesting because the very day after I spoke on stage, so it was July 25th, I got a notification from Facebook that it was our 1-year friendiversary on Facebook. So think about what can happen in your life in the span of a whole year. We think, a year is a long time, or at times we think a year is not enough to see growth. But so much has changed for me in a whole year. And I really believe that the pandemic facilitated such a breakthrough in me understanding that what makes me successful is me being me. And it's just so simple, but we overcomplicate it. We want to copy what other people are doing because we don't really know who we are. So that's kind of the way of figuring out who we are. But at times we stumble because we fail to see that the thing that people will love and want and accept is you. You being who you are, because that's what's unique and that's what really matters. Anyway, so I had the opportunity to speak on stage, and I had the opportunity to do a board breaking experience. So that was something else. I met this amazing 8-degree black belt Taekwondo master champion and now leadership coach Chris Natsky. I've interviewed him here for the show. I think I released that a couple of months ago. And last conference, I wasn't able to participate in the board breaking. So he has this activity where he has you write on a board your limiting beliefs on one side, and on the other side, write your breakthrough. So the things that you're hoping to accomplish. And I'd known about it, but I wasn't able to do it. And then this time around, I was dead set on doing it. And I did it. It took me 4 times. I tried breaking it 4 times. And that was one of the things that he said on the episode. So I highly encourage you to go listen to that episode as well with Chris, where he talks about everything that he's learned in martial arts and the mindset he's transferred now to entrepreneurs, into, high performance, confidence, belief in yourself, and all of that. So it was so many breakthroughs, and that's why the conference is called Breakthrough in Business Mastery. And my goodness, it really opened my eyes to see how passionate I am about getting in front of people and teaching. Like, this is really my gift. And everything started when at 14 I started teaching English, and by 18 I was interpreting on stage next to ministers for groups of up to 1,000 people or more, when you consider that the meetings were broadcast on TV and on the radio. So my voice has been spread through the world for the last 10, 20 years, actually, almost 20 years now with the interpreting. And me, after having the triplets, is when I realized that I wanted to find my message. What is my message, so that I can share this message in front of people? Because I have been in front of people since I was 18. And now, 20 some years later, I'm sharing my message, and I am reaching more people than I understand, especially through this podcast. And one of the things that, besides all the recognition and people coming to me and, wanting to get to know me because I was able to share my story, people getting emotional because I cried on stage saying that I never really saw myself as a woman, and all of a sudden I had 3 babies and I had to become this woman. And I've shared this here on the show so many times. I've cried here on the show so many times saying that, I've been the little Marta, the little Marchinha, my entire life. I'm the youngest, I'm tiny. And it was a journey for me to actually see the powerhouse that is within me, while everyone is seeing it and is telling me. I never really saw it, and I never really accepted it until recently. And I think 2020 really opened my eyes to that there is no limits to my potential. I'm the one imposing limits to my potential. And being on this conference and, seeing how people admire me and how my story and my presence is so touching has really confirmed that I am walking my purpose, that I am stepping into my purpose, that I am living my purpose. And so I am insanely grateful for everything, for Gary, for all of these experiences, and somebody else that I met on there that I am so excited to interview here for the show. I already told her that. Her name is Tanya Waring, and she is she is the spokesperson for My Pillow. And she has an amazing story. I shared the stage with her because she has been one of Gary's clients, and she was saying how, he took her under his wings and mentored her when she had $300 in the bank account. I need to have her over on the show to tell her story, but to see how I am sharing the room, the stage with these types of people, it reassured me that I am one of them. I may not be making the same amount of money just yet. I may not, have the influence that these people have, but the fact that I have had the opportunity and that I have taken the opportunity to be in the same place as these people shows me that I am going and moving in the right direction. And that was one of the things that, the aftermath of the event really came to me, is that, you have to surround yourself with the people that you aspire to be like. Not the same, but the people that are walking and living the lifestyle that you want, you need to be around them to learn from them. Isn't there a saying that says you need to be the dumbest in the room? You need to strive to be the dumbest person in the room. I forget what the expression is, but this is how I feel. Like, who am I to be in this place? And then I look back at myself and I realize I am one of these people. I am not less than any of them. And that's why I'm here. And I'm just so excited to continue on with this vision and to be bringing this to life, especially with my book. The main thing that I wanted to break through in that board is the publishing of my book. I'm going to get this out, and I'm going to get this out in the next couple of months. It's going to happen, and I know this is going to be even a bigger breakthrough for me and for my business and for me reaching more people, speaking in other places. That's something else that's been happening. People have been reaching out for me to speak to organizations. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was telling Gary I wanted to get into corporate and start training, leadership development. And I was just talking to somebody yesterday that works with big corporations in the marketing areas and saying, how could I incorporate your services on my packaging so that you can go and train these people? And just like early in the year in January, I was contacted by somebody that just found my name online, wanting to have me speak for their organization. It was the Mile High Youth or Young Professionals. And it's just the power of connections. I met with somebody incredible that so resonated with my message because I was talking about the Enneagram, and she knows the Enneagram. Her name is Haley. And she recommended me to another organization, and they hired me to come speak to their empowerment luncheon in August. And so it's just incredible, the power of sticking with it, the power of not giving up. You know, isn't that one of the sayings? I want to keep going just to see what happens, right? I'm not going to give up just to see what happens. This has been one of my biggest philosophies. So I wanted to take the time to share this experience because it was amazing. If you've been following me on social media, you saw how awesome of an experience it was. And I know I'm going to be unpacking that for a few weeks still. And the next thing is, confirming this desire that I have to teach, to be in front of people, to educate, and to support, empower. I decided this month to do something a little bit different. I usually put on, webinars where I teach some stuff and then I invite people into the Empowered Woman School. And then this month, for this, end of July, I wanted to do something a little bit different and actually provide more hands-on coaching. Instead of giving you steps and telling you go on your merry way, have fun, and then come back and report, I wanted you to come with questions for me and have it be more interactive. So instead of doing my usual summit, webinar, whatever, I decided to do a clinic, and I'm calling it a content clinic, and it's a 2-day event. If you've been plugged in my social media, you've probably seen it already. But what I decided to do is, first day, so this is going to be Thursday the 29th, starting at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, we're going to be meeting on Zoom. So this is going to be off social media. And I'm going to be taking questions. First come, first served. You come and you ask me any marketing, content creation related question that you have. And I'll be answering questions. And at the end, I'll be doing a drawing and a giveaway of one of my amazing easy marketing templates to facilitate, to make your life easier. Now, one of the things that I highly encourage you to do is to really think about your question, because you get better answers when you ask better questions. And that is one of the things that I want to put out there. I just sent out to the people that register. I have close to 30 people already registered. Super excited. I said, I gave them some guidelines of what are some great relevant questions that you can be asking that have to do with your content or with your marketing, so that you get better support from me, since it's a first come first serve type of thing. But day 2, so this is the little twist that I'm adding to this. Day 2, I'm hosting a VIP version of the content clinic. And what does that mean? You actually get to ask questions ahead of time. So I will have time to think about it and create an outline of a plan, and you'll walk away with a template. So it's guaranteed that by registering and saving your spot, which is $47, you will walk away with a plan and a template. And you'll get to submit questions ahead of time. So that's how we will have enough time. But I'm planning more time for this one than for the free clinic. It's going to be 2 hours. And I'm so excited because I already have people registered for that as well. And this is what I want. I don't want to just give you information. I want to give you specific steps so that you can go on out there and start working on these things. And of course, if you want more support, if you want feedback, once you start implementing, you have to join the Empowered Woman School. And I'm excited to open the doors once more at the end of this month. and have people join us for our very first call every month. Our first call is on the first Friday of the month at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So you'll have all through the week to register and join us. And I'm so excited about this idea because I want to go back to in-person events. I want to go back into creating these experiences where, I can combine music and empowerment and interviews and panels. And going to this event this weekend really confirmed to me that this is what I love. This is what I'm meant to do, especially growing up in church, going to conferences for decades. This is what I love. I love bringing people together. I love facilitating breakthroughs. And I have to practice what I preach. So that's why I attended an event that has inspired me and equipped me to be able to put together my own event. So there's lots of amazing things on the pipeline. You just wait. But my call to action here today is come to my content clinic because I want to help you with your marketing. If you're struggling, feeling overwhelmed, procrastinating, falling off the face of the internet, and then you wonder why you're not making sales, why people are not buying from you. And another thing that I want to share as well, especially when it comes to my transformation and me stepping into my purpose and my light and my business essentially doubling in revenue from last year, is that I really allowed myself to be who I am. And many people think that marketing is just finding the right words to make people buy. And yeah, there are better words that you can use, but at the end of the day, it's not the perfect copy. It's not the perfect name of your course or the perfect price. What makes the difference is you, is your essence in what you do, is you being in alignment with your offer and with your audience, is you having no doubt in your mind that you can help people in your industry, knowing that you have the solution for their problem and being extremely clear on that. So this is my preface for the content clinic. If you're thinking about registering, which I highly encourage you to do, the links are in the show notes and all in my social media, but it's just martasburke.com/content clinic, is that what I help you do goes beyond surface level marketing. What I help women with is not just words or even a structure. What I help you with is understanding that you are enough, that who you are is enough to help the people that need you. And when you show up in that capacity, your content falls into place. Of course, with the right structure, with the right strategy, but strategy on its own is not as powerful as you believing in yourself. And this is what I have learned. And I even posted a picture of my transformation from last year to right now with my curly hair, a little bit lighter, going a little blonde here to cover the grays. But really, it's just me owning myself. And people have told me time and time again that they can tell it's visible. And it has impacted my business. It has impacted my income. It has impacted my content. It has impacted the people that I attract that are so much more committed, that I love working with instead of being the ones that give me a headache, that, that are not driven, that are constantly whining or thinking things are not working. Everything is a reflection of you. So yeah, picking better words for your sales page, I'm sure can be helpful. But at the end of the day, the most helpful thing that you can do is loving and accepting who you are. And then guess what? People will love and accept you and want to invest in you and buy from you. So that's my PSA for today. Hope you can make it to the clinic. Once again, we meet on Thursday the 29th at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. That's 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you want to come into the VIP for more hands-on support and actually have a detailed plan and a template, for $47, you can join us at noon Mountain Time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday the 30th. I hope to see you there. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Once again, don't forget to register for the Content Clinic. The link is in the show notes. And I would love for you to leave a review on the show. Have you ever rated and reviewed the Empowered Woman podcast? If you've been a faithful listener, I would love to hear from you. You can just leave it in whatever platform that you use, whether it be Apple, iPhone, iTunes, or Android, Spotify. Leave me a review, leave me your rating, and connect with me. Send me a message. Let me know what you love about the show, what you'd love to hear more from. And yeah, until next time, bye.